Let's do some trading. Scott Bauer is the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Come on, Scott. Don't fade Roku, all right? It's like the momentum trade in the same category as Tesla and Shop. You want to bet against it in an environment like this?
Listen, Michael stole my thunder, stole my grandeur here, because what he basically said is the same thing that I see in the charts. No clue what's going to happen here other than expect a big move. I agree totally. The ROKU is going to be a big number, but you look at these charts here and, the market is expecting roughly a $20 move is what's priced in here. And honestly, it is a total coin flip here. So the only thing that I'm doing here, Oliver, and again, this is a total crapshoot. It is a total coin flip. So I'm going to do something with a very, very minimal investment that will pay me handsomely if I'm correct, but a very minimal investment.
Okay.
So I am looking for an upside move, okay? And you can do this to the downside as well. Same type of strategy. I'm doing an upside call butterfly for next week's expiration. Not tomorrow, but next week's expiration. So I'm doing the 155, 165, 175 call butterfly. Buying the 155s, selling 2 of the 165s, buying the 175. I can do that for about 80 cents, somewhere in that range right there. That's my maximum loss, no matter what happens to the stock here. But it does pay handsomely if we get a move up into that range.
All right. So the move up into the range, there's definitely directionality to this for sure. But because you've
100%.
got 3 different strikes on here, you've got a lot of different ways to kind of play it, and you've got a week to do it as well. I think that part's pretty interesting, Scott, because you've got a little bit of time. I mean, look, Vol's going to come out after earnings. So if you're not in that direction, those are going to get hit. But you've got a nice little tier here of ways to take off different parts, or however you want to basically play it.
And that's why I like this, because it's cheap. It's very inexpensive. I buy this for 80 cents. I'm investing $80 every time I do this, okay? So I know what my risk is, not a big investment here. Now, I do have to be somewhat pinpointing and somewhat correct as to where the stock is going here. If stock goes down, it's a loser. However, like you said, even if the stock doesn't go up that much, or if it blows through, let's say the stock goes to 200, okay, it gives me the flexibility to play around with it a little bit and adjust if I need to.
All right, now we've seen obviously big moves in the past. 140 is where it's trading right now. $15 to the first strike. It wouldn't be out of the norm at all, right? For what's the market maker move on this thing? I mean, 10% for Roku is, that's like pennies, isn't it?
Yeah, the market maker moves like $20. So
wow.
it's almost 15%. It's like 14%. So that $20, if it's to the upside, puts me right in the sweet spot around 160-ish or so. Again, someone that is bearish Roku could do the same type of setup to the downside, pay about the same amount, and look for that downside move. I'm just looking for an upside pop here, upside surprise. Maybe they come out, maybe they build up some international numbers, ARPU numbers are good. Who knows? Again, to me, total crapshoot on this, but I'm limiting my risk and actually giving myself a nice window, a nice opportunity for a big gain.
Hey, with a stock like Roku, what's the other way, right, than basically, rolling the dice without betting the house on it? Vol in the 14th, for tomorrow, basically, is at 235. The expiry you're looking at is 125, so it drops pretty significantly. So at least you don't have to hit it, the day of. But you're going to have to get a move pretty quick because it still is the next week, and that vol is going to come in quite a bit. But at least it's not quite as pumped up as the Fridays.
No doubt about it. And again, one of the characteristics of a butterfly spread, okay, like this, or again, if it's a put fly, is that from a volatility perspective, it's a fairly neutral play. Because if you look at it, you're long 1, short 2, long 1. So you're offsetting the amount of contracts, offsetting the amount of units. So it's really less about the volatility and more about just the straight direction and where this thing winds up.
Yeah, all right. It's got really interesting stuff. We'll look for it right now. And nice move on the Cisco, by the way, because you sold the calls and you're good to go in the clear. Nice trade yesterday coming into the report.
All good.
All right. Mr. Bauer, CEO at Prosper Trading Academy.